Well, it is a very good evening, everyone, and welcome to episode 46 of All Four Back. I'm, of course, Chester 430, and I'm joined, as always, by Hadlington. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, everyone.
A very good evening to Shads.
Evening, Dan. Evening, Heads. Evening, everyone.
And if he's here, a good evening to our producer, Tank. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
So, chaps, we are at the top end of the season now. So, getting towards the business, shall we say, of the season. Looking back on tonight's show, we're going to have a look back at the League Reviews of Week 24. Of course, we had a lot of talking points in that week. We had a farewell, we had the Wooden Spooners confirmed, and also a victory that put in the league to a decider next week. So that will be something to look forward to. We have also Shad's Rider of the Week, a look at the league table up until week 24. We have our remaining minimum match counter, so the riders that need to ride in remaining last week of fixtures. And then, of course, a look ahead to a big week of league action starting on Monday. But to start with, chaps, we're going to head on to the first of our league reviews, which was the Newcastle Piemen against the Poole Cowboys. Now, the Poole Cowboys knew that victory in this match last week would have given them the league title, but the Piemen put a spanner in the works and took a 48-42 victory, which means that the league title goes to next week, where the Cowboys take on the Spartans. Now, Had, you were in this match tonight. You were in this match, and you was indeed, yes. For 48-42 victory for you boys. Of course, we talked to Squall last week, and he said you guys been training so hard. And what was it like getting that win over the league leaders?
It was obviously a good win against Cowboys. But to be honest, they should have probably got nothing, I think, in the end. But we let them off a little bit, I think, in certain races, me especially. But we won't go too much into that one. Everybody else rode pretty well, to be fair. Squall decided to go strong in the middle and put Paris and Squall together. And then, as you can see there, Tintin at number 5 with Westy, and who rode superbly again. Another double-figure score. So, yeah, I think we rode pretty well. We always knew it was going to be tough, especially when we saw Limo's name as well as guest for the Cowboys, because we knew Bobby and 101 was absent. But we obviously, with a wide replacement as well, we probably knew Limo was going to be in 2 of the last 3 races as well. But the 5-1 in Heat 14 was unexpected, I'd probably say, especially against Limo. But yeah, it was a great team effort, shall we say, apart from myself. But good race of Ryan as well, coming in, stepping in for us as well at number 1. It's the first time you've had a number 1 for obviously quite some time now. That really made a difference, I thought, as well, especially at home. Ryan was in all the practice sessions.
About having the guest for the Cowboys, Limo, he started on like a house on fire with 3 straight wins. But then also he sort of dipped towards the tail end of the meeting there. But even though, obviously, you scored 2 points there, Had. So in theory, if you didn't score those 2 points, it would have been 46 points of the Piemen scored. So those extra 2 points would be the match winner.
I'd like to say yes, but in the one, I think what race it was, 3rd ride, I think it was Le Sorcier. I blipped coming out bend 3, and it threw me to the inside, and I should have beat him, to be honest. He beat me on the run to the line. And I was gutted, to be fair, because if you get that extra point, Cowboys get nothing.
Yeah.
So, it's one of those when you look back and think, well, maybe if I did this, that, or whatever. But it's all in hindsight, really. I mean, we went in expecting them to give a good go, and we we came out with a win, which is pleasing to finish the season with a win at home.
Yeah, of course, because I think you guys have got one more match next week, taking on the Panthers of Plymouth on Monday as part of the Monday doubleheader. We're going to go into that into a little bit of detail later on in the show. But again, surprising for that Cowboys team. Only Stefan scoring 8+1. I think that's his lowest score, I think, of the season. He sort of hasn't scored no less than 10 points in every match he's been in. But to have this 8-point he's got there, but it's a bit of a shame. But of course, they were using RR as well. So the extra rides for like Limo, Rico, and all that. And of course, with Super Dip missing one race and bringing in Lasor, I think Super Dip missed the 2 minutes in Heat 12.
Yeah.
Which is, so it's a bit of a, but the Pie Men seemed to sort of, they started with like a 4-2 and they led right up until Heat 7, where the Cows then got to 21 each. But in the very next race, you guys got a 4-2, 25-23. But then again, Heat 10, the Cowboys made it 3-2, but then straight away the very next race, Ryan and scored that 5-1, which put you guys 4 points in front. I mean, what was Squall saying to you in the chat in the pre-meetings before the big event?
Just we can obviously we put a bit more practice in for this one. Obviously being the last home meeting as well, and obviously we knew the Cowboys had want to win the league title, and we didn't want that to happen on our track. To be fair, so. It was just a matter of keeping going in the points. I mean, the prime example was in chat in Heat 6 when we said, if you can come out with this one with a 3-3, then we've done well. And then when we looked at the score, we didn't expect Stefan to be coming last. So, it's one of those where you take that. It's not very often he comes last. So, we battled well. The rest of we battled well and deserved the win, I think.
Yeah, it was indeed. It was when I saw the scores, I thought, it takes down to a title decider next week, which would be fantastic to see. Of course, everyone's going to be glued to that Wednesday match, as it's been said. I think on the previous 2 Mondays, and then you got a Wednesday 8:00.
Just saw Paris's comment in chat there. I think it was Stefan's first last place of the season.
Well, Powis would know that. He would know that, wouldn't he? Well, he's had a few last places in the BGP this year, so it's not his first. It's not his first last place. But yeah, you're right. His first one in the league. But yeah, many congratulations to the Pie Men. Obviously, that win puts pressure on their next match against the Panthers, with implications in that meeting. So we're going to switch gears now and look back at the second match. And this was a farewell, shall we say, as this was the Hackney Norse's last official meeting in STS against the Birmingham Wolves. And wow, they certainly ended on a high. I mean, to be fair, Hackney Norse, they came in the season last year and were everyone's whipping boys. They were getting beaten home and away. But this year they've literally surprised everybody. Of course, they got the SCS champion Mackinnon in their team this year. And they've just been going right from the word go. The Birmingham Wolves had no chance in this one, unfortunately. I mean, dare I say it. Shads, if I can bring in, if I can, mate, for this one. It's a shame to see Hackney bow out of the league this season, but of course they've been a great inclusion, and to go out on a high with a 63-27 win, I mean, they must have been over the moon.
Yeah, that's their. I think that equals their score of the season. 63 points. I think it's the second time they've scored 63 points against another team. Only one last place in the meeting as well, which you don't see that often in meetings nowadays. 5 ones to end it as well, which you also don't often see this season. Usually teams towards the end, they settle back and they've done the job. But no, Wolves looking through their scores, it was a great night. I mean, Owen 1 point, Liam 1 point, Hutty 2 points. it's not great. But like you said, it's going to be a shame to see the end of North. I mean, I know everyone has enjoyed having a Swedish side in. They've been good fun, especially this season. They've been like you said, they've really upped their game this season. Even the ones that were in last season, they've all improved their averages. You know, and it'd be a shame to see him go. I don't know if any of them are going to be back next season. I think Mackinnon intimated he might be back next season, but obviously Becky said he's retiring. I don't know if any of the others are going to want to ride for another team because I think they're pretty tight as a group. And just all that's left for Wolves now is a bit of pride next season, next week against I think they've got the Warriors next week, so we'll see how they do next week.
Yep, Wolves are at home to the Warriors on Monday night, so that's the part of the double header we've got. Haz, I'm just gonna repeat what Shad says there. I mean, just your thoughts on what Hackney has meant to the game. It's nice. It's been nice to have him involved this season and also last season too. But it's a shame to see him bowing out of season 19.
Obviously, it's been good that we've got them involved. Obviously, they made massive strides compared to last season, and as you said, all the riders have improved a lot. Obviously, with Mackinnon there winning the SCS series as well, Fakey being the GPs alongside Dretlock, and most of the other guys riding in individual meetings as well. So, I mean, fair play to them. They seem to have mastered Hackney now as well. Another 60+ score, but as guys have said there in chat, I don't think it has to be the end for some of the riders. I mean, Mackinnon and Fakey rode in teams for the Dragons before. I mean, I can't see why the other guys can't do that. I mean, I know they are quite tight knit, to be fair, but if any of them are listening, I'd get them to reconsider and sign up. And even if you're not together, ride in another team. And obviously, it's always good to ride with different people and get a bit more, expand yourself a little bit more as well, and get away from maybe Hackney and see what you can do on other tracks and still be competitive elsewhere.
Yeah, I totally agree there, Hads. I mean, I will say, if the Hackney boys do listen to the recording of this, we hope it's not a goodbye and more of a see you later sort of scenario. Like,
Yeah,
we hope
definitely.
they do come back into the league in some form in the near future. Whether it's next year, we have no idea, or the year after. It remains to be seen, so to speak. But I say Hackney's been a great inclusion to the game, and they've certainly surprised a lot of us with the results they had. They were once, I think they went first 3-4 matches unbeaten this season before losing out, and then sort of seemed to dip the second half of the season. Hence why they're now down in third place. Spartans with some good results overtook them in the league table. But I'm hopefully that Hackney is just I say North are currently second, says Powis there. We'll have to look at the league table as they go in. Depends what Spartan. Oh yes, of course. My apologies. Thank you, Powis, for the confirmation of that one. So obviously that was the Hackney North against Birmingham, 63-27. And our final match of last week was the Rye House Warriors, which to be fair, have had a season to forget. Another home defeat, this time to the Plymouth Panthers, by 38 points to 52. Tank, if you do want to pop in, we know obviously you were the skipper of the team. If you want to just give us your thoughts on what's been a rather, let's say, not impressive season as defending champions this year.
No, it's not been quite how I would have wanted it, or the whole team in truth. But a few setbacks there in the season. With obviously we lost Badger, obviously, and then obviously we lost GPR. But it's just for one reason or another, and I've had issues with my server, and that's not helped. But just in general, it has been one to forget, and yeah. I mean, we haven't completely had a bad season because we did get one win, so I'm pleased with that. So at least we ain't got a donut. But no, as I say, with this match, it was
Apart from Heppel,
well, yeah, yeah, but yeah, I was hoping to go out with a bit of a bang and try win this one, but kind of knew sort of going in it may be a bit tricky. And yeah, as soon as I saw Panthers lineup, I knew the writing was pretty much on the wall. But we gave it our best shot, but yeah, weren't to be. But yeah, so we just go against Wolves next week and see what happens. So.
I will say a couple of noticeable performances in both teams, shall I say, rather. There will be Cam for the Rye House Warriors scoring 14 from 6 rides. Of course, he had that exclusion in his first ride, but after that, he only dropped 1 point. And for the Panthers, I got to say, Skyrider with 16 plus 1. I mean, that's the highest I've ever seen him score. I mean that the scores throughout the Panthers team. Shads, if I can bring you in, if I can, mate. Obviously, you're in this match. 8 plus 2 for yourself, so paid 10. 2 X's in that meeting. What happened?
what happened? The first Ben Grass. That's what happened.
And both of them.
My usual dive bomb into the bend and didn't quite get it right. But no, it was not a great meeting for me. But that last heat, made up for the rest of it. But Skyrider was excellent. I think that's probably might be his best ever score. I think he might be able to confirm that. It's definitely his best score of the season. I mean, we had 2 good guests. Scrawl and Cappy were practicing with us for a couple of days. I think Cappy was confirmed about a week before that he was going to be guesting for us when we couldn't, when Craigie and Caney couldn't ride. We were lined up to have Scotty in the side, but his internet crashed the day before, and couldn't get it going, and the people that were supposed to come and fix it didn't turn up. So we had to go with rider replacement, which isn't ideal because there's only Capesy, me and Skyrider could take his rides. That sort of weakened us a little bit. But as soon as we saw Craig wasn't riding for Warriors, we pretty much gave us a boost, and we thought, oh, we could do this. And I think rode solid throughout. You know, everyone scored well. Like I said, the guest Cappy was fantastic. Skyrider was tremendous. It's a shame we didn't get that win in the last heat, but I think we got done by them gating us. And for once, like Sky said in chat, it's the racing was a lot closer than the score suggests. I mean, it wasn't easy by any means. The races I were in, it was anyone could have won that race. It was terrific racing, and I think I went from first to last in one race.
Well, you did manage to win.
Cam was brilliant. Cam was brilliant. It was, apart from his first heat, it was almost untouchable.
I think Cam will be one to look out for in the team building for next season if he can keep up this form. That's for definite.
So that 4 point average, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But of course, team building sort of kicks off after the last week of fixtures. Obviously, there'll be a date when that sort of takes place. Of course, they get the team first, and then they choose their track and so on and so forth. Sky's always just confirming that it was his best ever score in league fixtures. So congratulations to Sky. So with those 3 matches taking centre stage, we're now going to the Rider of the Week. With that, I'm going to hand back over to Shads for his notable mentions and then the Rider of the Week. Shads, over to you.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's only a couple of riders that I've thought about, and one was Skyrider, with his best ever league score, like I said.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, because of the opposition and the fact that he scored 10+2 from 5 rides. I'm giving it to Westy Boy this week.
Westy Boy of the Pie Men receives this week's Rider of the Week by Shads. Congratulations to Westy Boy. Very much. I think that's is that the third Pie Men to get a? Or is that the second Pie? I know Squall got it last week. So back-to-back Pie Men have got it this season. No, hang on. Yeah, no. Yeah, Pie Men's. Yeah, does he get the Does he get a watch for it? Yeah, the obligato Rider of the Week. Oh, brilliant! Well, congratulations to Westy Boy. So, with that being said, we're going to switch on to the league table now, obviously, which is the main talking point of the podcast. And of course, you see there, Full Cowboys currently lead the way on 31, with Hackney on 28, Spartans on 27, Birmingham 16, Newcastle 12, Panthers on 9, and the Right House Warriors on 3. So, of course, we have the sort of wooden spoon, Tank, confirmed with the Right House Warriors. But 5th and 6th, and of course the top 3 still have title implications. It all depends on what Hyde can do at the Cowboys on Wednesday, which I'm sure we'll have all the previews for that after the break. But looking at the table as we speak, had a lot of surprise in this league table, of course. At the start of the season, we all thought Hackney would be bottom, and they're pretty much towards the top. Your thoughts on that league standings and what can happen in the last week?
I don't think anything will change personally. I can see Spartans might get a point and push them up to 2nd, but apart from that, I think me and Chad were trying to work out earlier how many the Panthers had to beat the Pie Men by to go ahead. Something like 28 points, I think it was.
It was
even a point for Spartans wouldn't make any difference, would it? Because the points difference. I mean, Norse's points difference is far superior to Spartans.
So unless the Spartans go there and get a win, but they have to win.
Spartans need a draw. Spartans need a draw to finish 2nd.
Yeah. So I think Powie said it the other day. They have to win by so many points as well. So I can't see, even if they win, I can't see them winning by enough to take the title. But that being said, Spartans is a good return, finishing in the top 3 their first season, as is the Norse. I did expect them to be a bit lower down, personally. So hats off to those guys for a top 3 finish, and I think the rest will be as it is, to be honest.
I think Pie Men's home form has let them down this season. I think they've only won half of their home meetings. I had them finishing a little bit higher than that. I think I had them finishing in 3rd. But it's purely because of Newcastle, such a difficult track. I thought they would have, but obviously losing their number 1 Big Richard halfway through the season hasn't helped them at all. But I think that's the biggest surprise for me, apart from North, of course, is Pie Men finishing so low in the table.
Yeah, totally agree with that. Chaz, a lot of people have been surprised by obviously that team in 2nd place there, Hackney, finishing so high up after a sort of woeful season 18. But again, we have our previews of next week, which will be after the break. So we're going to have that now. And when we come back, we're going to have the minimum match counter. So the riders that have to ride the last meeting for the respective teams. And then, of course, the big previews of the final week of league action. So boys, stick around. We'll see you in guys in a couple minutes. And after a short pause there, we are back for the final part of All Four Back with myself, Chester, Hadlington, Shads, and Tank. Now we're going to look into, before we get into the league previews of the final week of league action, we're going to go into the minimum match counter, which obviously is what's been given for this season. Tank, I'm going to bring you in if I can for this one, bud. So of course we had this chat last week. There are 3 teams that are yet to complete their minimum match counter, and they all race next week. So just give us your thoughts and rundown of obviously what needs to happen with those 3 teams.
It's literally the same as last week. Obviously, Liam has to ride this week to meet his. Obviously, with Rossi, he can ride or a facility for him to complete his remaining one, and then Frax obviously either same as Rossi, either himself or facility, so a guest. Must do that to meet his minimum match counter, and then once those 3 riders have ridden or the guest, they their minimum count is done, and then everyone's avoided any the top scorers' points being removed as a result of not completing it. So, and it's just as simple as that. And they, as long as they ride, everyone's all good.
Well, I was going to say, do you think the teams in question will abide by those rules? Do you think? Well, they've got to, haven't they? They've got to.
They got to, but I don't think there'll be any danger of them not doing, because and that Sizzler will do the do. We know what he's like as a captain. He'll make sure. No questions for Dale Shaw. He's pretty on point with his team and sorting that out. And me, I'll make sure if Frax doesn't, then I'll have a guest. But yeah, no problems at all there. So I think everyone would sail through it, no problem.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Of course, I want to get this the season all done without any sort of hitches or any sort of blips in the table there. So with that being said, we're going to crack on with the league previews of the final week of league action. So first matchup on Monday, the 18th of November at 8:30 is going to be the Birmingham Wolves against the already mentioned Rye House Warriors. Both teams' final matches of the season. Hans, if you're feeling better, mate, I can bring you in first of all. Birmingham versus Rye House. How do you think it's going to go for the teams?
It's going to be a interesting one, I think, this one, to end the season. If Wolves ride like they did last week, I think they might be in a bit of trouble, personally. Obviously, we know Wolfie didn't ride last week as well. But I think Warriors could probably get a point if they, obviously, if Craig's in the side as well. Obviously, we know Fax needs to race, and Cam scored well last week. So, as Parry said as well, yeah, Liam has to ride. So, if it was me, obviously your top 4 should be 9 times out of 10 riding. So probably Owen or Hutty not riding in this one, I'd say. So it's gonna be a tough one. Yeah, as Tank said there, Wolfie missed out last week because he wasn't well as well. So if he's not available, then it's just the other 6 and go from there.
Power saying I'd sack Sizz off. Oh dear. So you're predicting a narrow away win?
No, I think the Wolves will win, but I think Warriors could get a point.
Okay, so that's it. So Hads is predicting a home win for the Wolves. Shad, your thoughts on Wolves against Warriors?
It's going to be whoever can be bothered. I think most.
To the point.
I think 70-80% of the riders in the league just waiting the season to end now. I personally switched off after the last meeting after we avoided the wooden spoon. So I think a lot of the Wolves riders, a lot of the Warriors probably just want the season to end now. So It's going to be whoever can be bothered to turn up and practice. I think
Yeah.
I can't predict this one. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Warriors sneak to win. I wouldn't be surprised if Wolves demolish them. It just, who knows? Who knows? Who can be bothered the most? That's what I say.
Anything's possible in this game. It's never scripted. 50 Spartans need to win the league, so Cows need 38. Says Lango. I believe so. I'll see if I bring in Tank if I can quickly as well for this match. Of course, Tank, your last match of the season away at Birmingham. Just give us your thoughts, mate. As I said, it's been not the greatest of season for you boys, but you're hoping to go out on a high note.
Yeah, we'll try to go out on a high note. Obviously, no questions that Cam is absolutely looking forward to this, and he has been looking forward to it all season. I think he was slightly gutted that it's taken all this time to get to now to get to Burnham, but he's been itching to ride this one. So, yeah, so hopefully we can go there and get something. I mean, I ride well there. But then seeing how my form's gone this season, who knows? But yeah, and that. It's an alright track. We should do well, but we just have to make sure it clicks on the night and go out with a bang, really.
Completely agree. Like a nice end to a pretty lackluster season for the Warriors. My apologies again for saying that, Tank, but
Oh no, don't
not
worry.
much else. Not much I can really say about how unfortunate the season's been for you guys, going in as defending champions and then literally being right down rock bottom for the entire season. Personally, I know how that feels because 2012, my cycle team, we won the league, we won everything, and then the following year we literally went down, like right down, lost all our riders. We were a skeleton team throughout, and it's just we were a rock bottom. Like, yeah, it's I know how you feel there, Tank.
Yeah,
So moving,
we have had more probably. Well, since I took over from Craig, I think it was season 5, season 6. I've probably had more wooden spoons than titles, which isn't great, seeing as the Warriors is Craig's and that team that he put together when he joined and was the captain. So yeah, it's not great.
You've let him down badly.
Oh yeah, it's not gone. It was meant to be a fairy tale return for Craig and be really well, but hasn't turned out that way, which is unfortunate. But these things happen, unfortunately.
So, with that all being said, we're going to move on to the second match in the doubleheader on Monday. And it sees the Plymouth Panthers taking on the Newcastle Piemen. And, of course, the last match for both of these teams. And Hads, you make the long trip down. Hads, I'll start with you first, mate. You've make the trip down to Plymouth for the last match of the season. Not everyone's favourite journey, but how are you looking forward to going down to Plymouth and Sport and get another win?
Honestly, I don't think the track's great at all. But we're gonna give it a good go. I think we want to finish the season with another win. Obviously, if we can get another win, that'll look a bit more respectable for us in the league table as well. But we know it's not going to be easy, especially on their home track with Limo in as number one. We're probably not expecting to see Craigie or Caney. Maybe not Scotty as well. So it'll be interesting to see what team they put out. But Sky was flying last week at number 6, so we'll have to go some to stop him scoring that many points. But we just go there and see what we can do, basically, and enjoy it being the last match of the season.
Yeah, go on a high, as they all say. Chads, of course, basically same for you. Last match of the season. Obviously, not everyone's favourite journey down to Plymouth these days. But your thoughts going into Panthers against Piemen?
Oh, I'm trying not to think about it, to be honest with you. I wanted to sit it out to maintain my 6-point average and probably my highest average for about 10 seasons. But looks like I'm going to have to ride because we've got so availability shocking as it has been for weeks and weeks and weeks. Just want it over, mate, to be honest. Hate the track. Love the guys, but hate the track. Just an awful place. Just horrible.
Yeah, it's going to be a.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get battered. I also wouldn't be surprised if we sneak a win. It's just one of those where just want it, just get it over with, get me 5 rides out of the way and bugger off.
You mean 7?
Oh God, really?
Oh dear.
Now, to be fair, I did actually forget that we can actually, if we win this one and get a good
No,
away win.
because Skyrider can replace me in 2 of them.
That is true.
Mm.
If we
Yes,
actually get
please.
a big win and Warriors manage to beat Wolves, so we can actually finish above Wolves.
Ah. So as I said, it's much bigger implications in that match. So I think all of them will be going for it on Monday night. So that'll be one to look forward to. And our final preview for this week sees the potential league decider. This match could potentially see the Poole Cowboys becoming the league champions of season 19. Hyde Spartans have got a tough ask against them. They need to win they need to get all 4 league points. Chaps, I say, Haz, I'm going to start with you first, mate. Your predictions for this one, because this is going to go right to Heat 15.
On the outcome, I'm not so sure. But the Cowboys will do enough to win the league here for me. They need 38 points. So to me, that they'll be able to get that, especially excuse me, on their own track. I mean, I know it's not they've been the best home track, but it doesn't offer that much of an advantage as other tracks. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, it's going to be a interesting one. I've just noticed the start time's 8:00 as well.
Yes.
I don't think they've raced at 8:00 at all season. Maybe that's a thing to try and gain a bit of an advantage with availability, maybe over Spartans. But I can't remember the Cowboys riding at 8:00 at all this season.
I think they've only been like 8:30 or 9:00. That's the main ones they've raced at, I believe.
Especially a home meeting.
Yeah, definitely. Totally agree. I mean, like I say, I mean, it's going to be a good match regardless. I think it depends on what Cowboys turn up because, of course, we don't know if Bobby's still on holiday, Dip stays connected, or 101 isn't too drunk, as Powers has said in the chat there. Yeah, Spartans this year they have the chance. Well, I think if they get a point, they'll go second on points difference, I believe.
No, they need to draw. They need to draw.
They need to draw to get the points difference, right? So hopefully that happens. Lango says all available, so fingers crossed for that.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest for a minute. Unless Cowboys totally shit the bed, they're going to win this.
Mm.
Come on.
I know
we want an interesting end to the season, but let's be honest.
I was just big. I say, Powers said there, stranger things have happened. So, yeah. Craigie Harrell saying Shad sounds absolutely buzzing tonight. Oh dear! Well, it's the end of the season. At least
I've got a long weekend, so I am buzzing. I'm not back to work this Tuesday.
Well, so did I until I had to be called in on Sunday. So that was.
Hey, there we go, boys. He mentioned work. It took long enough. we had a little poll to see if Dan would mention work in the pod tonight.
Oh, where was this? Where was this? I didn't see that.
No, we kept you out of it. We had a secret poll between the rest of us, and you didn't let us down, Dan. Thanks, mate. It was unanimous. Everyone said you would.
Well, as you guys say, either way, Cowboys, if anything mega happens, they're going to be league champions this year. But it's been a good season for the Cows. Spartans just have to, bring their A game to Wimborne Road, and hopefully, fingers crossed, they can, do the business. But I say Cowboys been good all season, and they're top of the league for a reason. And yeah. So, anyways, chaps, that completes the league previews for next week. Monday and Wednesday will be the dates of destiny for the teams in potential league and mid-table finishes. We haven't got many podcasts left this season because we've got to cover the last BGP. So we've got to do the league reviews for this week. Also next week, we got the SCS, then we got the League Riders Championship, I believe, and I think there's one more. So there's only like 4 podcasts left, I believe. Are you doing Riders of the season? Yeah, we've got all that planned for later in the year.
We've got a special last part of the season with a few surprises.
Yes, we do have that. So stick around, and if you're going to be hanging around for that one, I'm sure you will. But I believe, chaps, is there anything else we can discuss? We can wrap up tonight's show. Anything you guys want to discuss potentially, or
when you're making a comeback, Dan?
Oh, God,
Next week.
Come on.
I ain't making a comeback. God damn.
Monday, riding on your home track.
My home track's Exeter. Yeah, even though it's not in the game, my track's Exeter. It's not Plymouth. BLRC World Champs, BGPSES Round 7 are the main fixtures, top of the head. Sky has asked, where are the World Champs taking place?
Lonigo, is it?
Lonigo, Italy. Ah.
Is it?
Yeah, and then the final is Fastavik.
Sweden.
And the BRRC is at Ipswich, I believe.
I'm sure someone can confirm that for us.
Yeah.
Paus is saying Fastavik
yes, it is.
final.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Sunday the 24th of November for the BLRC.
Yeah.
So a week on Sunday.
Absolutely. So, chaps, with that being said, we're going to wrap up tonight's show. It's been great having me back here again, guys, as per normal. Podcast will be dropping on Saturday at 8 p.m. as per normal. So just leaves me to say a good night to Tank.
Good night.
Thank you. A good night to Shads.
Good night, everyone.
A good night to Hadlington.
Good night, all.
And it's a good night from me, Chester. We'll see you all back here next week. Episode 47 of All Four Back. We're almost there at 50, guys. Just a few more ones to go. But until then, take care. We'll see you all guys next week. Take it easy. Bye.